I'll be interviewing her today for my social studies curriculum. So, Miss, I'd like to ask you, how long have you been teaching at Anchor Primary School?
All right, Miss Naulia Cox. I've been teaching here for the past 15 years.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
Yes.
And what grade you're teaching in presently?
Presently, I'm at grade 2, early childhood.
So my question to you today is, have you been observing the curriculum over this 15 years period?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What have you noticed about the recent changes in the social studies curriculum? For example, changes in the topic, the cover, how lessons are taught, types of classroom activities, material use, or ways students are assessed.
Well, I've observed there's a lot of changes in terms of things being more evolved in society. Also, the curriculum as cater for that for all the children. Years ago, the curriculum was based on how we see things and just specifically the whole country. But now the curriculum caters for regions, not only for the entire country, but also for different region. Um, for an example, now only Georgetown would have we would find post office and markets, right?
Yes.
And we don't have that in the region. So what the curriculum propose that we improvise and that we make our little market in the classroom so that we can cater for them. And also, I just want to elaborate a little with mining. Mining was not a thing holistically. The curriculum was just catered from like Georgetown, city side,
Yeah.
and not for the interior part.
Thank you very much for clearing that up, Miss. What are your thoughts on the new teaching methods and classroom activity that has been introduced? Is it very positive? Is it positive? Is it neutral? Is it negative? Is it very negative? Please share why you feel this way.
Well, I feel that the curriculum caters for for all the children. As I said earlier, it opens opportunity and that you can teach what is in the community base, not only Guyana base or the country or worldwide. So we can relate what's there, the activities, with what is in the curriculum. Thank you.
Okay. So relevance of curriculum content. In your view, how connected is the updated social studies content to students' daily lives in Guyana?
Lovely. Um, well, as I said, and I like to relate, it relates us to Guyanese kind of setting, right? In the social studies, we have like Pago, and we would see inside some of these books that we must observe these events or religious activities. So I believe that it will help the children, right? And it caters for all the diverse. Some children not book inclined, but when they see and they do the Lord.
Okay, thank you. And do you think that the curriculum before now and this curriculum, do you think that for like you use Pablo, did you notice any changes within our different holidays that we celebrated in school and out of school?
Like slight, because for us in the curriculum we just used to have to do Pago. and we left it there. We never observe it or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, now the curriculum has a flexibility for that, so that we can go in depth.
Okay. So teaching and assessment approach. Do you find the classroom activities like group work, projects, or class discussions suitable for your students?
To somewhat, it is suitable. To somewhat, as I said, some children will work better in group, some will work individually. So to somewhat it open rooms.
How do you find the new ways of assessing students, such as project work or ongoing assessment?
That again.
How do you find the new ways of assessing students, such as project work or ongoing assessment?
Well, in this case, it has advantage and disadvantage, because in the project, children will some children will do it individually, where some parents will actually do the project. But the assessment within class, we already know that's an individual based, um, you know, assessment. So it kind of have some pros and cons when you come to do that.
Okay. Preparation and training for teachers.
So far we haven't had any specific training. I mean, within the class or regional level. But teachers, we would have done little staff development, but not in this.
So have you received any form of training to help you teach the revised curriculum? And you said just now that you haven't received any training for that. How would you rate the accuracy of this training? So you haven't received any training, so you cannot answer for that. But have you noticed any reluctance or pushback from teachers regarding the new social studies curriculum?
Not really, no.
What difficulties or challenges do you believe teachers encounter as they try to implement the new curriculum?
One thing will be that the teachers, remember now we have, as I said, we get additional information. We'll have to do more. It's not just chalk and talk, but we have to do the literal activity, get materials dressed up so that they could have a first-hand experience.
Yes, I like that you said that you have to do more because the new curriculum caters for more, and we can't just sit down and think that, oh, we're going to go and tell the children this, tell the children that, because the new curriculum do not cater for us to tell the children, but for the children to tell us. So what type of teaching material or resources do you have access to for supporting the new social studies curriculum?
Alright, so presently we have textbook, we have television, and we have the internet, we have Wi-Fi, so we can access, more stuff. We have radios now as well, where we can play some audio, they can hear songs, they can see actual geographical areas within the social studies curriculum.
I like that you give all of these different things that we can use because, as you said earlier in the interview, that you need to make inference on the children. Some children need to see things, they need us to model things so that they can understand it better too. How confident do you feel about teaching the new social studies curriculum?
Somewhat confident because it helps you to prepare and cater for all the diverse learners, as I said. For all, you could even do differentiated teaching because children come from all backgrounds. Some children understand visually, some children understand abstract. So the curriculum now is it set a pace even for you to speak how the children would have spoken, you know, how they normally talk. The curriculum also, social studies curriculum caters for that. If you go through the content, it have dialogue where that we can talk and reach the children at their level.
Yeah. And next question I'd like to ask you to Miss, what before now, what you appreciate about the new curriculum that you didn't saw in the old curriculum? A topic that you probably enjoy teaching now, or it's better explained, or it's better broken down now than before.
Okay. So the old curriculum, social studies. Let me just use. It has this part where we talk about. Well, it has so much. My mind is just going so wild. Caring for others, right? Now, first we just use a probably who has a pet, and we say we care for a pet, and that is it. But the new curriculum is it's spread out. You know how we care for pet, we care for elderly, we care caring for friends, and you know family, and so much. And the old curriculum was just it was just one thing put in a nutshell. But the new curriculum, it expands that you can even say more and do more out of the box.
Thank you very much for sharing that with me. What recommendations do you have for improving the way the social studies curriculum is put into practice?
Alright, so because of geographical location, I will propose that when they distributed this curriculum, there is the literacy. When they do literacy, they have a literacy kit or a literacy package that comes with the literacy.
Yeah.
So for social studies, why not have a package or a kit with different globes, maps, and you know certain things that we would need, physical or concrete things that we can execute the social studies. So I would recommend that.
Thank you very much for sharing this. It was a pleasure to interview you today, Miss, and to understand what was before and the difference that you're seeing now. And with what you're saying, it basically shows that the curriculum back then was more chalk and talk, and now it's more of children-centered, and teachers need to do more in for their children or their students to
and more
grasp the concept.
Read, go through the curriculum, understand it first before you execute it to the children. So only then you can come today, you know, skimming through the curriculum, and then you're going to teach. It's not going to work. Even though you're brilliant, you're intelligent, you have a PhD, whatever it is, go through, because you have different children in your class.
Thank you very much.